now we will see the working of strain gauge. As the workpiece undergoes change in its shape due to the external loading, the resistance of strain gauge element changes, and this change in resistor will be detected by a Wheatstone bridge, and the relation for that Wheatstone bridge is R2 by R1 equal to Rx by R3, where R1 and R3 are two constant resistors. Rs is the resistance of the strain gauge and R2 is the balancing resistor. Here we can see the diagram of strain gauge with Wheatstone bridge, that is R1, R2, R3 and R4. And the measurement of deformation or displacement by the strain gauge is calibrated against the change in resistance of the adjustable resistor, that is R2, which makes the voltage across the node A and B is equal to 0, that is V0. So now we will see the application of strain gauge, in which field we are using this strain gauge. Strain gauges are widely used in experimental stress analysis and diagnosis on machines and failure analysis. We know that stress is related to strain. We know that relation also, that is stress equal to strain into Young's modulus of elasticity. So whenever we are able to calculate the strain, then directly you can calculate the stress. So that for experimental analysis of stress, we are using strain gauge. They are basically used for multi-axial stress fatigue testing, then proof testing, residual stress and vibration measurement, torque measurement, bending and deflection measurement, compression and tension measurement, and strain measurement. Strain gauges are primarily used as a sensor for machine tools and safety in automotives. In particular, they are employed for force measurement in machine tools, hydraulic or pneumatic press, and as impact sensor in aerospace vehicles. So these are the vast application of strain gauge in almost all fields, what we can see here. Then we will discuss about the capacitive element based sensor, and here we can see one schematic diagram of this capacitive element based sensor consisting of three plates, plate 1, plate 2, plate 3. So in first diagram we can see, that is diagram A or figure A, 3 plates capacitive element sensor. Then in diagram B we can see the displacement measurement due to the change in plate separation. Here you can see the first distance between the first and second plate is very less, and the distance between plate number 2 and 3 is more, which will help to measure the displacement of any object. Then in third diagram we can see the displacement measurement by change in area of overlap, where we can see the plate number 2 is shifted up to one part. So by measuring the area of overlap between the plate number 1 and 2 and between plate number 2 and 3, we can measure the displacement. The capacitance C of parallel plate capacitor is given by, that is C equal to epsilon R into epsilon 0 into A by D, where epsilon R is the relative permittivity of the dielectric between the plates. Epsilon 0 is permittivity of free space. A is the area of overlap between two plates and D is the plate separation. or distance between the plate. As the central plate moves near to the top plate or bottom on due to the movement of the element or workpiece of which displacement is to be measured, the separation between the plate changes. That can be given as, that is, C1 equal to epsilon r into epsilon O or epsilon 0 into A is divided by D plus X, and C2 equal to epsilon r into epsilon 0 into A divided by D minus X. When C1 and C2 are connected to a Wheatstone bridge, then the resulting out of balance voltage would be proportional to the displacement of X. Capacitive element can also be used as a proximity sensor. As we discussed previously, proximity sensors are used for tracing devices or tracking devices. The approach of the object towards the sensor plate is used for induction of change in plate separation. This change the capacitance which used to detect the object. Means whenever the distance between the plate is changing, the capacitance is also changing, and by using that one we can measure the displacement. Application of capacitive element based sensor. It is feed hopper level monitoring, then small vessel pump control, grease level monitoring, or that is lubricant or your coolant level monitoring. Then level control of liquids in different elements. Then metrology applications like our surface grinder, lathe machine, milling machine and air bearing spindle by measuring error in the machine tool themselves. Then assembly line, we are using this type of sensor. So next type of sensor is linear variable differential transformer, and also we call it as LVDT. The linear variable differential transformer or LVDT is a primary transducer used for measurement of linear displacement with an input range of, that is, 2 to 400 mm in general. Means this is generally, by the name is also we can suggest that this is used to measure the linear displacement. It has a non-linearity error, that is plus or minus 0.25% of full range. Now we will see the construction of LVDT. It has 3 coils symmetrically spaced along an insulated tube. One insulated tube will be there, in which three coils are present. 2 primary coil and 2 secondary coil and 1 primary coil. They are connected in series. In between both secondary coil, the primary coil will be placed. And a magnetic core attached to the element of which displacement is to be monitored is placed inside the insulated tube. Means one magnetic piece or magnet will be placed inside the tube, which will move. Here we can see the construction of LVDT. So there are 3 windings present inside this tube connected in series. 2 secondary coil are there, 1 primary coil are there. The primary coil will be fitted in between the 2 secondary coil. One core or one magnetic core is present at the middle, which will move from one position to another position, and that is connected to a spring, and all these things are kept inside a insulated tube, and that tube is connected to a shaft, and that shaft will touch to the object whose displacement is to be measured. Whenever the object will displace, that will press the spring, and according to that the magnetic core will move inside the coil, and due to that voltage will be generated, which will use to measure the displacement. So here we can see the working principle. Due to an alternating voltage input to the primary coil, the alternating electromagnetic forces of EMF are generated in secondary coil. When the magnetic core is centrally placed with its half portion in each of the secondary coil region, then the resultant voltage is zero. But if the core is displaced from the central portion, then that is secondary coil 1 and coil number 2, then the EMF is generated in the coil number 1. And if the magnetic core is further displaced, then the value of resultant voltage increases in proportion with the displacement. With the help of the signal processing device such as a low pass filter and demulator, precise displacement can be measured by using LVDT sensor. Here we can see the working principle. So, in first diagram we can see the position of the core or armature between the primary, that is in between the primary and secondary coil. Then in second diagram we can see the next position of the core, that is shifted upward. And in the last diagram we can see the position of the core, that is shifted backward or downward. LVDT exhibit good repeatability and reproducibility. It means whenever you will take different number of readings, then the output what we will get, that is quite similar for each reading. It is generally used as an absolute position sensor. Since there is no contact or sliding between the constituent elements of the sensor, it is highly reliable. Because no sliding means no friction, so that it can last up to long time. Then these sensors are completely sealed and widely used in servo mechanisms, automated measurement in machine tools. A rotary variable differential transformer, or that is known as RVDT, can be used for the measurement of rotation. LVDT used for the linear displacement measurement, and RVDT is used for the rotational displacement